Jackson, and I'm speaking to you again about a Bible reading and interpretation, Bible reading and explanations. And so this is chapter 31 of the book of Proverbs, verses 1 through 7. And it reads as follows. It says, the words of King Lemuel, the prophecy that his mother taught him. What, my son, and what the son of my womb, and what the son of my vows? Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. It is not for kings, O Lemuel, it is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes strong drink, lest they drink and forget the law and pervert the judgment of any of the afflicted. Give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish, and wine unto those that be of heavy hearts. Let him drink and forget his poverty and remember his misery no more. Okay, and so what that means to me is, we're gonna do 8 through 10 as well. It says, "Open thy mouth for the dumb, and the cause of all such are appointed to destruction. Open thy mouth, judge righteously, and plead the cause of the poor and needy. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies." All right, and so she began. She's speaking to her son, and he is a king. His name is Lemuel, and the first warning that she says is to give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. So what that says to me is women of that day and age were way more virtuous than women of this day and age. And I don't mean to just sit there and just talk mean about people and say rude things about people, because like look at me, I'm not like the best person in the world, you know what I mean? But it is true. Even women will tell you sometimes, like, "Oh, I can be a B word sometimes," or "Oh, I can be sometimes when I'm mad. Sometimes when I'm mad, I'm this way or that way, whatever." So they reserve the right to be mean sometimes. What I'm saying is, women of that day and age were way more virtuous. So for a woman of that day and age to tell her son that warning, and she said, "Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings." And so don't give your strength to the woman. Don't tell her that she can speak to other people on your behalf. And that's what this world is. That's what happens. When you lay with a woman, your phallus reshapes her womb. So she walks around feeling like she has a phallus in between her legs now, because you it's just like putting a like a cylinder inside of some Play-Doh. And when you remove the cylinder, that Play-Doh is still the shape of that cylinder. So now that Play-Doh walks around as if it is that cylinder. So don't give her your strength. Don't lay with her. Don't lay with her, because then she'll walk around acting as if she is you. That's what it means to die. That's what that means to die. So you'll die and she'll die, because now you are feminine to her, since she reserves the right to be rude sometimes. She reserves the right to be mean and angry sometimes, and you can't stop her from being angry sometimes. So that's what that says to me. That it don't give her your strength. Keep your strength and let her keep her beauty. That's what that means to me. It's not for kings, O Lemuel. It is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes strong drink. And so you shouldn't be a drunkard, pretty much. Um, and it says, "Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies." Now, the virtuous woman, um, I, man, she hit it right on the head. I don't know. I'm not trying to be rude or mean or anything like that, but I don't know what a virtuous woman um, kind of looks like. You know what I mean? That's what the truth is. I know what it looks like for a woman to be called a bad B word. I know what they look like. I know what it looks like for a woman to like be in church but not really seriously love God. So when she gets out of church, she acts like those bad B words. I don't know what a virtuous woman looks like, because a virtuous woman keeps to herself. And I think that's a good thing. You know what I mean? I think that's a really good thing. But that verse really speaks volumes. That's a woman saying that to her son in that day and age. She's more virtuous than the women that are walking around right now. So just like look at that, and don't take any credit off. Don't take anything off of men either. Men are really messed up people too sometimes, because it takes a messed up person to look at a person and jump in that person's life, and just go jump in that person's life and ask her for her phone number and things like that. For what? You know what I mean? You don't even know what your name means, much less what the Holy Bible means, much less you're going to give your name to her. You're going to marry her and give her your name, or you're not. And that's the worst part. So men can be less virtuous than is often spoke of as well. But this was just based on women. So we talked about women. Don't be a drunkard. It also says, um, give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish. So liquor is for people that are about to die, and wine unto those that be of heavy hearts. So somebody that's sad, they drink wine. You give them wine. And so you keep things like that around you. I have wine in my house, but I don't drink. I have bottles of wine, and I don't drink wine. I have bottles of olive oil. I have containers of salt. I have flour. I have rice. I have all kinds of good stuff. So in case anybody comes and knocks on my door and they need anything, if I can't give you a loaf of bread, I can give you a few cups of rice, or some flour. You can make your own bread, or I can give you some oil and you can fry up whatever you want to fry up or whatever. It's just like little things like that help, because it shows you like that's what wealth is. Wealth isn't just an abundance of money. Wealth is abundance, period. If you have 700 Bibles, you're wealthy. If you have 700 robes, you're wealthy. If you have 7 pounds of silk, you're wealthy. It's not just money. And so this was more so about the actual verse that says, give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. So don't spoil your kingdom, because that's what God gave to you. You have that. Your male mind and your female mind have to take care of your body, which is your genitalia. You have to take care of that child and get him to heaven, you know. And so that's kind of what life really is. And so you have to be the one to teach her that. If God gave Adam a helper, then he also gave that helper a teacher or a leader. Don't call yourself a teacher, because Jesus Christ is the only teacher and master. So don't call yourself teacher or master. But if God gave Adam a helper, then he also gave the helper a leader. So you have to tell her, like, this isn't that. You shouldn't want to give me your body like that all the time. This is about learning how to put. I can tell you something, and I can stay at the house, and you can go out on my behalf, and somebody will know that you are virtuous based on your leader, and our leader is Jesus Christ. So that was just that reading on the book of Proverbs, chapter. That was the book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verses 1 through 10. I read. And a virtuous woman, I feel like I have to say this because I don't want to be rude to the women that are virtuous. I don't want to be rude to the women that aren't virtuous. I just, would rather talk to the virtuous ones. Um, who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. I don't know how much rubies cost, but I think rubies are like right underneath diamonds. And so I think that's beautiful to be said. I think virtuous women are hard to find, and when you do find one, that's probably why you'd want to make a friend with her. You probably want to be around her because you probably want to be associated with that yourself. And so, kudos to the virtuous women, the women that are walking around with their loins girded up, and they have their hair covered the way that they're supposed to, and they believe in God and they pray every day and they wash things and they stay home. The ones that are married and they take care of the house the way that they're supposed to, and they're not busybodies running around. I think that's beautiful. I think in this day and age, when it's really, really hard to do that sometimes, and if you manage to do that, I think that's a really big part of beauty. So peace be with you. I'll talk to you soon. Peace be with you. All right, my name is Maurice Jackson, and this is another one of the suggested books for Christians. This is a book called The God Design Secrets of the Mind, Body, and Soul by Kelly Marie Kerr. Um, and so it is a book, it's the next book that I'm getting ready to read. I just read, I started a thing where instead of watching so much TV and so much YouTube, instead of being on the computer for so long, I want to get back to reading because I used to read. I used to read a bunch when I was a little kid. I used to read different books about space and different Goosebumps books and things like that. And I think God put that habit on me when I was a child, so I can come back to that as I grew. And so it's come back around full surface. And so I'm going to start reading this book really soon. As a matter of fact, I'm scheduled it so that I can read like a little bit this day. So I'll probably read like the first and second chapter today. But it is a good read. I can already tell just because the book is thick enough, and the content of the book. I already know what this book is about. So I can only look in here and take notes from this book. It is based on the sacred secretion, the travel of the sacred secretion that people are talking about. And this isn't anything that's like new age. This is something that has been around forever, and people just didn't know it. Some people didn't know it. Some people forgot it. Some people just chose not to believe it. And then, like when the tongues were separated, things got scrambled up. People spoke different. People had different signs for God and different symbols for who God is and what He is. But that's where the polytheistic stuff came in, and people started believing in multiple gods and different trinities and things like that. And that's not true. There's really only one Trinity, and then there are copies. There are people that have structured themselves as if they were God, and those angels got to you, or not you specifically, but those angels got to mankind, just like the enemy got to Eve before Adam got to her and told her, "Don't eat from that tree." Angels got to mankind and told them that they were God before Jesus Christ was born, and told them that He really is God's son. And so this is just another book that speaks about the sacred secretion and what we are really supposed to be doing and what we're charged with while we're in Earth. It talks about the sacral pump. It talks about the sun signs. It talks about seek ye first the kingdom of God. It talks about DNA. It talks about vital fluids. It talks about pia mater. It talks about the resurrection. It talks about the sun, the moon, male and female, medulla oblongata. It talks about the vagus nerves and the 33 vertebrae as well. So I think it's something that's worth getting. I'll get into it today. I probably won't be giving a review as to what I thought about it because I'm already going to give it an A+. This is something that you should read as a Christian because it opens up the reality that Jesus Christ really is inside of you, and you should know that when you read the Holy Bible. So I'll talk to you soon, and peace be with you.